Hello and welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and today we are going to have another Windows 10 mobile related episode, and today we are going to have 3 different games again, which are in this case itslogic-game, Shin-Up climbing game and the Rhythmic Village. And my name is Gerald as always. I've got a couple of different things here, for instance not the Arc mouse but the Bluetooth mouse, this one. And I'm using a foldable keyboard, which is this one here. And of course I'm going to use my mighty Lumia 950 XL. It's a pretty old smartphone now for nowadays standards now, but still a quite good one, and one that has this feature, which is called Continuum. And Continuum is a feature where you can use, for instance, a USB-C connector or some kind of wireless technology. It depends on what you want to do and if you want to charge your phone at the same time or not. And then more or less produce this image on a bigger screen, for instance on a TV like I'm doing here, or on a display for a computer, for instance. And in the end, what is going on here, I am using a USB-C connector at the moment here and connected to the little box standing at the side that you may not be able to see like this, so this one. And this one is going to be connected to the TV here by HDMI in this case. And like this we can see this big screen of the phone, and the difference is that this one has a desktop-like experience. So the GUI and stuff like that are used and created to more or less be used with a mouse like this, for instance, and of course a keyboard and stuff like that. And if you want to know more about all this, have a look at the corner up there. There is another video or a couple of them where I'm talking about that more in depth. And then I would say let's start with the first game. The first game I have here is itslogic-game. So it's a logic game more or less, which is logical. Okay, enough of bad word gags. And in the end, what I'm doing here is more or less you get presented with a couple of different images. In general, you have to solve one of the logic tasks here, whatever you want to call that. So in the end, there are combinations of images which are going to more or less suit together, so can be fit together or not. And in the end, as you can see, it's logic version 2 in this case. You have only 2 options here. You can, or 3 in the end, you can choose another language if you want to. Just let me decrease the volume a little bit so that I can easier speak to you. And in the end, what you can see here is you have game, you have more where you can do, I don't even know what that is. Let's click on that, I'm not sure. The score, sorry, not more, but score. So very simply the score you have achieved for now. And of course we have the game itself, which can be started at this place, and you could change the language if you want to, but in the end it really doesn't make too much sense to do that because it's all very picture based. So in the end, for the tutorial, maybe you want to change the language. Other than that, not much to be done there. So let's start with the first game. As you can see, you get a timer which is running, and you get a couple of different clues more or less. So these clues are going to give you an helper or whatever the solution if you go through them to solve this picture. In the end, you have to make everything true. So in the end, it's true or false, as in programming and stuff like that. And you have to do it in a way that everything is true that you can put in here based on the clues you see here. So for instance, if you can see, we have 2 where 2 of these heads are next to each other. So it's likely that I can put there and there one of the heads. And it's pretty likely, I would say. So in the end, it has to be one of the ones that is here. And it's pretty easy to see this one now, because most of the stuff is already not important for us. So there are often some of the clues which are not really important for you, and you really have to look for what is important for you to get this solved. And of course, if you have two of one head type next to each other and there's no other parts that can be put there, then we don't have to think about all the other clues there. But in the end, let's have a look for the next game, what's going on here. As you can see now, it's just other images, but in the end, the principles are the same. So we have a motorcycle in this case, and the motorcycle, both are false, so we already know that the next one can't be the green car, but there's no option to do that anyway, so we don't have to think about that. Or better to say, we already know that that one is wrong, because it was defined as false at this point, so we already knew this one is true. So if this one is true, and both are true here, we already know what is going on here. So we can use this, put it here, and it should be fine, because as you can see, we had one of the red ones, one of the blue ones next to each other, and of course both blue ones next to each other. So we already know, okay, it can only be solved like this. And then you're getting some kind of a grade, of course, so some grade for different things. So the green grade, the red grade, and the golden grade are going to tell you different things, but I never really found out which ones. So in the end they are going to explain it at the start, and you can have a look at that. But I don't see any kind of difference. Maybe I'm always getting all the points there, I'm not sure. In the end, one is for time, one is for solving it at all, and one is for making any kind of mistakes before you are solving it. And yeah, but whatever, try it out. I think the game is really nice. It has some kind of a nice interface with all the different emojis and stuff like that are a little bit funny here at least. It has a nice soundtrack. And in the end, if you like this kind of logical games, or you are into programming, or you want to start programming, this might be a good starting point for you to get basic understanding of logical thinking and stuff like that. And this is really something, try it out. I highly recommend it. Okay, so next game is going to be Shin-Up climbing game. This is a game more on the action kind of side. And what you are going to do is you are going to climb up different kinds of buildings in general, with a couple of different things like ladders on there, and of course some kind of things you can grab to run around. There are a couple of different other options too. And what you have to do, you really have to avoid the red dots which are running around, jumping around, stuff like that. I'm just going to start it in the background. As you can see, this is going to be, this is an image. I don't know why it's that plain. In the end, the game itself isn't. The game itself is a little bit more vibrant and stuff like that. But yeah, for some reasons I use this. Anyway, you have one guy, probably this one or something equal to that, and that is just going to climb up buildings and stuff like that, and you have to reach the treasure more or less at the top. And there's a little bit of a soundtrack. What you're going to use to control the character is your keyboard in general. So to climb up here, you're just going to use WASD to really just step from one part to the other and go up and down and stuff like that. And to show you how this game is played, I'm going to turn around a little, just to make sure that I have at least a little bit of a chance to really get something done here. And it seems like the levels are more or less generated, so they are not going to be always the same or something. So if you lose, you are going to be faced with another level at the same difficulty level, I think. That's the thing that they're indicating with the level 3, for instance. As you can see, you are the guy that is just running there, and if you give him one of the movement commands, more or less, he's going to fulfill that fully. So in the end, if you think that you can stop in between or something, no, you can't. That is very important to know. One click will bring you to the most upper one that you can achieve there. And of course you can at the same time change directions or something. That's fine. You can do that in between the ladder and stuff like that. But you really have to know that you are going to go up after that, because you want to go up. And yeah, in the end, what you're going to do is, or you have to do, is to avoid those red boxes that you see there. So just make sure that you're not going to hit them in any kind of way. And in the end, you're getting some kind of, some kind of option to, or better to say, some kind of money. I'm not really sure what you can do with them, at the moment at least. But just to let you know, there is money stuff. And as you can see, there are moving parts too. So make sure that you are really accustomed to all the different things, and there is a treasure we got, and this is more or less the first level, or in the end not the first level, because I already played a couple of them. You just click on this one to go to the next one. So let's play another one. The levels are different in a couple of different things. In the end, as you can see, the principle is always the same, but there are a couple of different obstacles, more or less. Going up the ladder here. And I died because I wanted to try out if I can stop him by going into a direction that isn't really the direction you want to go there. And yeah, as you can see, you really have to consider what you are doing here. It's somehow a little puzzle game, somehow, if you ask me. And as you can see, there's something moving and stuff like that. And it's very important that you go with the momentum in some situations. Otherwise, you're going to fall down because the grip can't be held or something like that by your character. So make sure that you are really, moving in the right way here. And as you can see, the red dot is going to hit me. Okay, no. The red dot was really moving in a different kind of speed, so you would have to wait a little to get over to the other side, but in some situations it will throw you off the ladder and stuff like that. So it's really just trying out a little bit. Let's try it again. Let's see if it's the same one. No, it's not the same one. As you can see, I'm not sure why they did that. Yeah, okay, thank you. I'm not sure why they did that, because in the end a level should be the same level as before, but they always generate a new one, as you can see here. So even if you lost, wow, wasn't what I wanted to do here. Even if you lost, you are not going to face the same challenges, which is a little bit funky if you ask me, because it would be much more fun to overcome the challenges then, right? That's why we are playing, more or less, and what we are playing. But whatever, the game itself is still fun, and you see it has some of the same challenges, and I just lost to the same thing again. I'm not going to play it anymore. Otherwise, just try it out. It's really a nice game for what it is, and if you like this kind of puzzle games and stuff like that, it might be your type of game. Try it out. Okay, so, and the last game I have here is something a little bit special, I would say. It's called Rhythmic Village. It's a very sweet game. And what you are going to do here, you are trying to learn something like a drum in this case, how to get into rhythm and be rhythmical and stuff like that. And in general, I find that very, very interesting, very much fun and stuff. But the problem is it has the Bluetooth connection problem. So maybe it is better if you are using some kind of an USB-C driven keyboard or something for this, or maybe a mouse or a keyboard, whatever you want to use there. Because in the end, you really don't like the lag in this game. So Bluetooth, of course, is a connection technology which has a little bit of lag in there, and that is a big problem for this game. But we will still try it out, and you can see how it's played, and if you really like it, just play it with your touch screen, where the lag isn't that prominent. or do it with some kind of wired keyboard, wired mouse or something, then everything should be fine. Okay, so let's start this up. And yeah, it's really a great game in the aspect that it has some kind of a storyline in there, and it has really nice and sweet characters, if you ask me. So just try it out. I highly recommend this game, and in the end it's for somebody who wants to do rhythm games and stuff like that, but as mentioned before, very nice game. Try it out. Okay, so first off, I'm going to turn around and let's talk about what is happening here and why it's happening. Okay, so as you can see, we have a game which you could buy, or you can play the light version. We are going to play the light version. You can even get some kind of hardware set for this, which is pretty amazing if you ask me. So in the end, if you have some kind of an instrument or hardware set for this, you can use it too, but we are going to use the light version for now. The instrument or hardware set, I'm pretty sure it's going to use a microphone, but I'm not sure about how. So maybe you can even do it without using a microphone or something. I'm not sure. If that is the case, we might even be able to get around the Bluetooth problem, but I didn't test it out before, so we will have to have a look at that. And as you can see, it's really sweetly drawn stuff. There is this little guy. This is a Rhythmic guy, which it's just more or less a note, but in the end it's really nicely done how it's done. Maybe we should increase the volume a little bit. Yeah, and as you can see, in the end you have a couple of different options. So let's go in there. You can of course choose another language. I'm going to do the English one for you now, so you can better understand everything. And of course in the end you can scroll down here. That's very important to know. And with scrolling down you can see that you can, for instance, do different kind of volume settings and adjustments, which might be interesting for you. There is a difficulty level, which can be easy, normal or hard. I'm going to play easy for now, just to show you everything. And of course there are a couple of other things like this. For instance, you can increase the instrument's volume, and you might want to play with that and see what really is that you want to do there. And so after that, everything should be fine. You could reset it, but we don't want to in this case, and we go to continue. And now we are going to play the first game. And in the end, the storyline that is going to be told at the start is that you are driving with some kind of a boat, a flying boat, and that ship or boat is a sailing ship from, I would say, the 18th century or something, I'm not sure. And you are driving around with that, and in the end you have a wreck after that, because you have a crash into some kind of whatever. It's a flying boat, so I don't know how that is happening anyway. But in the end it's going to go down, crash into the ground, and then those little creatures, those little rhythm creatures with mad kicks, whatever, will help you. And this is how you go into this place. I'm not really sure why or whatever, but it's funny and I really like it. There's a puzzle game and there are these rhythm games. So let's play the first of the puzzle just to show you what's going on here. So this is easy mode, whatever. I don't think it makes a big of a difference. In the end, this is really simple, because you're just going to select the different images here and try to recreate the one you see down below with this kind of option. You already know that this is a pretty old, I think, no, better to have it there. This is a pretty, let's say, old game, I'm not sure. You already played this in your childhood probably. And in the end, what you want to do here is, little fellow there, I really like the drawings here, it's really nice. In the end, you have to get points for that, what you are doing for each of them, the rhythm games and the puzzle games. And as you can see, 65 of 80 points, because we took a couple of different seconds to do this. And after that, you're just clicking to the next level. And now we are into that rhythm one. And as you can see, we get points for clicking on our drum at the same time as it should happen there. So in the end, there is this little fellow running around. Then we get this ta, ta, ta sound, which should give us an idea at least of when to press. And the problem, as mentioned before, is that you really have to press at the same right time, and this is a little bit difficult because you really have to go a little bit before that, so that the sound itself, or the pressing, the drumming, whatever, is at exactly the same time, and then you get points for how precise you were with your drumming in the end. And there is this little fellow, which is going from the left to the side. It's a little triangle that you see there, and that is going to tell you where it is at the moment. There is a metronome at the left there, which is a nice little touch, if you ask me. And in the end, you have to press a button here when the notes you see up there are really where your part is, and they align in one line. And after that, you just press the button, and hopefully you get the right one. And if you listen to it, ta, 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 so the stuff they are going to sing to you, or whatever that might be there, is really the sound you should create, more or less. So the rhythm is in there. There are different kind of notes here. Ta. And if you press wrong, like I did, because I have to press on the drum here, of course. Ta. Oh. Didn't even know I have to press at the top there, or at the start. And there we go. Probably I have to press very short for that, and the other ones are middle short, this one, and this is long. Did it read? Yeah, it's okay. I think you just have to go over the mid, and then you can play it, and of course you can just do it again or play the next level. And there we go. I think that was pretty okay. The one with the yellow face there means that I have to press a little longer in general to get the full place, because it's half a note and those are quarters. So it really highly depends on what you see there, and there is a pretty good tutorial at the start which are going to tell you what to do here. And as you can see, we got 80% out of 80%, so we got this level really done as it should be. As mentioned before, I really like the game. It's somehow fun. It's really nicely drawn, and you can really try out the different modes here. If you already are a musician or something, I would highly recommend you to go higher than easy with the difficulty level. Normal or hard should be fine for you in this case too, but whatever, try it out. And in the end, it really is a fun little game with a unique kind of gaming style, which I really like about the game. So in the end, that was the episode. I hope you had fun with it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Of course, if you have any kind of questions, put them down below into the commentary section. And if you didn't subscribe till now is the moment to do it. Other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Have a great time, have a great day, and see you in the next episode in the next week, of course. And bye.